Hey, Craig. Let's get into some coffee talk.
Hey, I love it. I love doing some coffee talk.
Well, talk about what?
Dogs, daughters, whatever. It's coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
Mr. Craig.
Oh, Mr. Jason, that's like the good old days.
The old Bell days.
Times were so much simpler back then.
And how many? We've had over like 200 interviews,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's nuts. It is nuts.
So we put together a little webinar from all the things that we've learned, right?
Yeah, totally. I love it. It was a lot of fun doing it, putting it together, and there's some really good stuff in there.
Yes.
What did we learn?
So we learned how to sell hundreds of thousands of premium a month using any internet leads, and this is based on a whole bunch of big dudes selling ton of premium a month, like over $1 million.
Yeah, and it eliminates that turnover, right? The staff doesn't get burned out.
It does. It creates predictable sales. Like, whoa, right?
Well, and we also learned how we can copy the processes of the big, giant, fastest growing P&C carriers and the big local agents.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun.
So it was fun. We put it together. It's on a website. Go to love.teledudes.com. That's love.teledudes.com.
How do you spell like that on the fly, Mr. Jason?
Well, it took me some practice, but it's love.teledudes.com.
You are good at that. So
that
let me
good?
get this straight. It's love, L-O-V-E dot teledudes.com.
Love.teledudes.com. Ooh.
I love that.
I love it too. I surprised you too, Mr. Craig. You didn't know.
Tricked me. All right. Well, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Cool.
Look at that, Mr. Jason. Where did you get that mug?
You like my coffee talk mug? The insurance
do.
dude store, of
Where's
course.
the insurance dude store?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you have to go to the show notes.
Oh, or you could probably Google it. That's how I find it. I don't even know where it is. I Googled it.
That
TikTok.
Google has some answers, doesn't it?
I find it, but not to go too far down the thing, but isn't it weird? And I really am trying to limit my Facebook time because it just is terrible. But I find it very strange when somebody asks a question like, "Hey, what's better? Or what's a good movie to go out and see tonight?" It's like, well, what? You just Google it. Or how do I fix my bike tire? What? I mean, I don't know.
How many people do you follow on Facebook that ask, "How do I fix my?"
Well, not anymore.
Right.
That's an unfollow right there.
But no, it's so true. So many people say, "Well, my computer doesn't work." Like how do you do this on the computer? And it's like, dude, there's a YouTube video to literally how to do anything. Like if you're asking other people, there needs to be a YouTube video on how to YouTube video questions.
Well, it's going to take longer to sit around and wait for some people to give you the wrong answer. I mean, if you're going to do that, guys, use Yahoo Answers.
Yeah. Oh, we are. Where do we go? It's
I
not
don't know.
sloppy.
But don't worry, we got something good. So if you were listening on Wednesday and listened to Mitch Dunford,
Yes.
I mean,
so cool.
awesome. Yeah, what a good guy.
So cool too. I mean, I love the educational piece for teenagers in high school that to get their feet wet in the industry that like not a lot of people know about unless they're in the industry. You know what I mean?
Huh? Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
I did. Yeah, I agree. It was really cool.
And my favorite thing that he said was, "What's the one thing that you would tell insurance agents? Piece of advice," and it was to do something.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it can't be a spoiler alert if it was last Wednesday. Well, unless you didn't listen. But
No,
that's
but
the thing,
yeah.
right? Is that we're living like this day and age right now, this whole year, a lot of people are not doing anything. And we've been talking about it for weeks now. We got to be leaders. We got to do something. Like that's it. I think it's as simple as do something. You know what? If you complained about anything this week, do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Get your hair did if you're not happy with your hair.
Yeah. And do.
Yeah.
If it's not did,
I
do.
noticed I used to do a lot of that. It was
Yeah.
back in the drinking days, and you just point fingers and you want it to go to, it's everybody else's fault. And it's so easy to go down that kind of thinking. You have to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because if you're not constantly, I mean, back to what we were talking about last week, right? This is the same stuff. It's the taking that inventory, looking through where are you? Are you on pace with your GPS? Like, are you doing all the things? Because once you
Mhm.
stop doing those things, you're going to find yourself out in the middle of the desert and nobody around. And you gotta stick to your plan, right?
Yep. And do something. Anything is
Something.
better than nothing. And I think I know you relate to this with me, is that a lot of times we got these big plans and we're we're doing them, right? And then all of a sudden you get like derailed a little bit and it's so easy to do nothing about it. And then you're like, well, I already stopped doing it, so I might as well do these other things. And then it's just you stop. You use that one time of stopping as a reason to not continue instead of like, oops, I didn't do it yesterday, but I'm back on pace today,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Well, you start developing the negative habit,
Yeah.
right? We
Yep.
talked about the grooves before. I don't know who it was, but when you start doing things over and over, you create these grooves in your mind, and the more
Mm.
you do them, whether they're good or bad, it's gonna reinforce it. Like with the producers, if the producers aren't having a daily meeting and aren't going over the stuff they need to do to close the business, what happens? Start becoming order takers again. They start doing it the easy way, right? And
Yep.
then they get good at doing it the easy way, and all of a sudden the close ratios go down, and all the stuff the cart falls apart, and it just
Or you're
happens.
yeah, you're doing the meetings, then you stop doing the meetings and it's easy to not do it the next day and the next day, then all of a sudden your sales go down and you're like, why aren't they selling? Right?
Uh, I know
And
why,
then
Mr. Jason, because you
why?
weren't doing meetings.
Yes. So don't just
Yeah,
if you have a hiccup, don't just stop.
right.
Do. Redo. Right?
Do do
Do and
because the worst
redo.
thing that's going to happen is you're where you are now without doing anything,
Yep.
unless you come up with a really terrible idea and actually do it. But I mean, most of the things that you're going to do are probably going to be somewhere in the correct direction.
Do, redo, and then it Ben did, right?
Ben did.
Ben did.
I'm telling you, I think that's a great way to go into the weekend thinking about what you
Yes.
did and what you're going to do.
100%. It goes back to that scheduling and everything else.
Eh, all of it.
Do and do more.
Or yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
And what I was thinking about last week was that, a lot of people beat themselves up because they're comparing themselves to other people.
Mm,
All you have to do is a little bit more, be a little bit better than you were yesterday. You, not somebody else.
yeah.
So it's like, don't use other people where they're at. It's like, oh, I'm not going to do that because they got this and they're so much further. I can never be. Don't compare yourself to other people. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and if you
Just
if you need something to keep you accountable, why not get the thing from Garrett, that app, right?
the
Gamify
Warrior
it.
app.
Yeah.
There you go. I love it.
And I didn't
And that,
download it yet. You know why? Because I didn't do. You
ah,
did, but you didn't start, did you?
well, you're
Did
right.
you start?
I did
So
start a little bit, but yeah,
okay.
I'm
How
not.
about this?
Yeah.
I'll download it. So
Okay.
what's $100 a month? I'm going to download it, and I will do. And then when we circle back next Monday, let's talk about how we did it.
Okay.
Now I'm holding us accountable. I know you're worried because you're like, oh man,
No,
should we
no,
give it a
I'm
week?
down.
circle back after a week, or we could talk about how we're starting it.
Yeah, but I mean, let's check back in a month and let's really, after it's been done. So you and I will hold each other accountable, but once we are on, like, I'd like to have some data to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I'd
that's
like a little push along the way, though.
Yeah.
One of us won't do it, and then we're gonna have to make fun of the other one.
We won't do.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm going to do.
All right. All right. We're declaring. We're making a declaration.
Should we put
what
it in the
are you
manifesto?
guys gonna make as a declaration? Declare what you want. Declare what you're gonna do, and just do.
Just do something. One of three. Do three things.
3 things
on your list. Okay.
I love it. Okay. Coffee talk.
This week got me tired out. Have some coffee and have a good weekend. Coffee. I'll see you on Monday, Mr. Jason.
Subscribe. Join the Facebooks, the groups in Facebooks of the insurance dudes.
Yeah. Right? What about the podcast, the audio?
All that stuff. Sure. Buy yourself a Coffee Talk mug.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Ooh. I even threw out a deal for the free shirt. Did you see that? I don't even know if you saw it. You saw it? Were you like, yes? Or were you like, just giving stuff away again?
I would love a free shirt, Craig.
Yeah.
You didn't give me one.
No, well, you already subscribed. But if you aren't a subscriber to YouTube and you subscribe,
I got penalized.
Screenshot it, you post it and say, I just subscribed, and you tag Emily, which you'll have to, or you can email her, Emily@idudes.com. What will happen? She's going to send you a shirt.
Sure. Let's do. Why don't they do, and then we do, and let's go into the weekend and do.
Oh, I knew you were going there. I knew you were trying to figure out a way to go there. So let's do it.
Coffee talk. Mr. Craig.
Oh, Mr. Jason. That's like the good old days.
The old Bell days.
Times were so much simpler back then.
And how many? We've had over like 200 interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's nuts. It is nuts.
So we put together a little webinar from all the things that we've learned, right?
Yeah, totally. I love it. It was a lot of fun doing it, putting it together, and there's some really good stuff in there.
Yes.
What did we learn?
So we learned how to sell hundreds of thousands of premium a month using any internet leads, and this is based on a whole bunch of big dudes selling ton of premium a month, like over $1 million.
Yeah, and it eliminates that turnover, right? The staff doesn't get burned out.
It does. It creates predictable sales. Like, whoa, right?
Well, and we also learned how we can copy the processes of the big, giant, fastest growing P&C carriers and the big local agents.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun.
So it was fun. We put it together. It's on a website. Go to love.teledudes.com. That's LOVE.TELEDUDES.com.
How do you spell like that on the fly, Mr. Jason?
Well, it took me some practice, but it's love.teledudes.com.
You are good at that. So let me get this straight. It's love, LOVE .teledudes.com.
Love.teledudes.com. Ooh.
I love that.
I love it too. I surprised you too, Mr. Craig. You didn't know.
Tricked me. All right. Well, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye.